Greetings everybody, you're welcome to yet another wonderful video on loop. Today we'll be treating or talking about nested loop, nested for loop. That's what we'll be discussing today. So we're going to remove this line of code because it is no longer needed. So now nested really want to appreciate and understand a real life concept, best when we apply this nested loop. Now, imagine a scenario. Imagine a scenario whereby you want to calculate the amount of revenue gotten from three buses with 3 passengers each, and you want to execute it in code. Now we have to declare some variable int. The first one is the number of buses. Since we've already said we're looking at 3, the second variable we're going to declare is and give a value. We declare and assign a value is passenger per bus. Like we said, 3 passengers each. Now the next variable we want to declare is called the ticket price. The ticket price. Then we give it a value of 100. And the last variable we want to talk about is the total revenue, which we're yet to ascertain. Now let us look at this pictorially before we dive into code. This is our buses, the bus 1, the bus 2, and the bus 3. And this is how nested for loop works. It gets into the first one, which is the bus. Now it now goes through all the passengers in the first bus and adds it up. Then it leaves. It comes back to the second bus. It now goes through all the passengers in that second bus. Then it goes to the third bus and it now goes through all the passengers in the third bus. Let's look at how this is going to look like in code. So remember the last time we did the for loop, we said that the for loop normally has 3 parts. The starting point, which is the first part, is always ended by semicolon. The limit or the ending point. So here the bus is less than or equal to number of buses. Then finally the incremental part. So here we want to print that we are calculating revenue for bus. Now what this does, this $sign does, and it goes in to extract the value. Remember, this is the name of the variable and this is the value. So if we're in the first one, the first bus, it extracts the first value. If we're in the second bus, it extracts the second value. If we're in the third bus, it extracts the third value. So that is what happens here. So calculating the revenue. Now there's an error here. And why is that error? I didn't include what I was incrementing. Boss plus plus. So why the error? Why the error? Okay, we're just printing. It's not an if statement. Yeah, it's supposed to go with a semicolon. So it normally happens when you're programming. So you have to be extra vigilant. So now this is, remember I told you when we get inside the first bus, the outer for loop takes care of the first, the second, the third. Now the inner for loop will now take care of the passengers. For the first bus, it goes in to look at each and every single passenger in the first bus. That's what the inner for loop does. So the outer for loop talks about the first bus, the second bus, and the third bus, just like you saw in the slide. And now the inner for loops are going to talk about each and every individual passenger that we want to consider. That is every passenger in the bus. So talk about the first passenger, then the second one passenger, is less than or equal to passenger per bus. Passenger per bus. Wow. Passenger per bus. Then I will now have to increment it. That's going to the next passenger. So that's how it is. So now what we want to do inside this inner loop, remember at this point in time, if I take you to the slide, we are here now. First passenger, second passenger, and third passenger. The outer for loop takes care of this outer part. The inner for loop takes care of the passengers in each and every single bus. I hope it's getting clearer by the day. As time goes on, we appreciate what we're doing. Now, because I want to calculate the total revenue, that's what I want to calculate. So for each passenger in that bus, I'm going to sum it. I'm going to add the ticket price to it. Ticket price. For each passenger, I'm going to add the ticket price. And I want to print out passenger I $ passenger. So what this $ does is that it goes, if it's the first passenger, it picks passenger 1. If it's the second passenger, it adds passenger 2. If it's the third passenger, it adds passenger 3. Now, paid ticket price gets the value of the ticket price, which we know is 100. Great. Okay, I close the line. Now I need to go outside the for loop. I need to go outside the for loop, and I print total revenue for bus. That's I want to print total revenue for each bus. So I use my print statement. Let's say double quote that string. Total revenue for bus. I add my $ so that I can pick bus 1 when it's time for bus 1, bus 2, and it's time for bus 2, bus 3. Now I'm going to use, pardon me, but I'm going to use the Naira symbol. Okay, yeah, I'm in Nigeria, so I'll use the Naira symbol. So I'll say inside here, I will say, let me close this first. I will say passenger per bus cost I decide to leave it in the same line. Let me leave it in the same line, see what happens. Now I want to carry out calculation times ticket price. So I want to get this for each bus, passenger per bus times ticket price. I want to get the price that was collected for each bus. That's what I want to get. I will now want to create a space that gives gap when I want to print it. Okay. Now, the next thing I want to do right now is I want to go outside it. Remember, you have the for loop, the outer for loop, the inner for loop. The inner for loop goes through each and every single passenger. The outer, we're still here in the outer for loop. And when I want to print, I need to put it outside the for loop so that it doesn't keep printing and printing. So print, let's go. Print, I want to know the grand total. Grand total revenue. Wow, what did I write? Grand total revenue. Typo errors. It's funny. It shouldn't be though. Now I pick the total revenue. Total revenue. Total revenue. If I got the spelling correctly. Yes, this is what I wanted. Okay. Total revenue. Okay, let's see. Let's see what we've done so far, as we're going to have errors. If we have errors, remember, always remember to save. Very important. Save. When you save, then you can run. That's if you're on Windows. If you're on Mac, it saves automatically. Let's see what we've done so far. Okay, let's look at it. Let's go it line by line. Remember here, printing revenue for bus 1. Calculating revenue for bus 1. Calculating revenue for bus 1. Now we now went inside the for loop. Now passenger 1 paid 100. Okay. Passenger 1 paid. You can just add it here. It looks somewhat like Naira. Passenger 1 paid 100 Naira. Passenger 2 paid 100 Naira. Passenger 3 paid 100 Naira. And let me take you back to the slide. This is the first bus. Calculating revenue for bus 1. So inside this external loop, it calculates the first bus, the second bus, and the third bus. Then inside each bus, the second loop takes care of it. Now, calculating passenger 1, passenger 2, passenger 3. So we're following right now, passenger 1, passenger. So it now prints it, gives a total revenue of 300. This one gives a total revenue of 300. And gives a total revenue of 300. So 3 by 3 times 3 is 9. So grand total revenue is 900. I hope you appreciate the nested follows. Well, this is where we're going to end this video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. And have a wonderful day. So this, okay.